Usually I come out here to clear my head, to figure some things out because for the last year, hell, guess I could say year and a half, it's been a very interesting time for not only me but for everybody in this crazy, crazy world that we call virtual wrestling. So, before I get to why I brought you out here, Mr. Cameraman, I am going to say something that I feel is very important before I get to the petty stuff. Kenshiro, Ayuda, I know who your heads are. I figured it out. And I know that you will be there at Revelations with all of them. And for that, I say, for everybody, everyone in Black November, the principal, and anyone else, I know where they're going to be. I sent you all messages privately. Message is clear. Meet me at Revelations in that parking lot where I know they will be, where I know that they will try to destroy, where I know that they'll try to harm and attack and do harm on everyone and anyone. Be prepared for a fight, because I know that they are going to bring a fight to all of us. Because honestly, there's too many people that complain, too many people that always want to say what's the right thing to do, what's the wrong thing to do. At this point, it doesn't matter. I gave you the message. It's up to you whether or not you want to agree with me or not. I also found out some other things that in due time will be shown to the light. But with that out of the way, there's another thing that's been on my head recently, and while I was driving out here, I couldn't help but to pick up my phone and watch the little Road to Revelations that everybody is making, right? Because everybody has such an important because Revelations is such an important event for everybody in DCA, for the up-and-comers to the veterans to everybody. And you know what? This is the first time in the history of DCA that I am not on a Revelations card. And honestly, I'm not upset about that because, well, there's something a little bit more important right now going on. But yet there's a person that I've noticed that I've just been willfully ignoring because honestly he wasn't worth the time. But every time he opens his mouth, he always wants to make it about himself. It's funny how I can live so easily in someone else's head, rent free, mind you, on two people when I've done nothing to them. Oh, but they'll say that I've done a lot to them. They'll say, oh, no, you did this, you did that. You're this and you're that. And I'm just laughing. Yes, James, I'm talking about you. You know, I heard what you said, right? I heard what you said. And it's funny because if you said those things, you know, if you sat there, looked people in the eye and says, I know I'm not a good person. I know I'm not clean, you understand? I know my hands are tainted. If you said that a year and a half ago, trust me, a lot of people would look at you differently now. A lot of people would look at you and say, you know what? For as flawed as James Needham is, he's an upstanding guy. As flawed as Hit Kid and James are, they're okay people. But see, you were too late. Just like you're too late on a lot of things. So allow me to take this delusion that you and your brother have, because I am going to break a reality for you. So, reality check. As much as you think I am a bad person, I'm not. As much as you think that I'm hiding something, I'm not. I have laid everything out for the people that care enough to listen. It's just that you have to listen. But you won't, James. Why? Because if it hasn't been clear enough, James Needham and his anger, his hatred, and his ego is the only thing he bothers to listen to, because everything else does not matter in the mind of James Needham. Don't believe me? Okay. Tell me if this sounds familiar. Chris McClane's a horrible person. He's a piece of shit. He's a cunt. He's everything under the sun. Fuck him and fuck the ground he walks on. He has done everything in his power to screw me and everyone else around me. You understand? That's what your brother says. Never mind the fact that Chris McClane has given you damn near everything when honestly he has no right to. But no, we'll paint this narrative, right? That Chris is out to get you. Never mind the fact that it was proven that the whole forged medical documents wasn't Arcan, but you still had a problem with them anyway. Never mind the fact that Chris gave you what you wanted, which was a title match, even though you didn't really deserve one in the first place, because it was your fault that that world title was gone from the company. I can't help that Arcan wanted to retire, because trust me, if I was Arcan and I've been in this company for 20 something plus years and all I got for it was being politicked out of locker rooms, talked shit about, disrespected every step of the way, all the while putting in the work, the effort to prove my worth and not even get one fucking chance to even show that I'm worthy, fuck, I would retire too. But that's besides the point. The point is, you didn't deserve a world title opportunity because you weren't a part of the match. You weren't a part of Gateway to Heaven. And it's not like you wouldn't have gotten a chance somewhere down the line, but no. Let's make it all about James Needham and how he feels there's a conspiracy against him. How everybody's out to fuck him over, when in reality, he sets up his own shapes and watch it all fall on top of his head. Oh, let's go further. Let's go into Proven Ground. The night that lives in infamy. The night that everything went wrong for poor old me. The night in which you say, oh, there's this conspiracy and I demand answers because what Malik says I don't believe. Even though I said what happened. But no. Let's just go about the fact that honestly, James, it could have been anybody in that position, and the result would have been the same. It didn't matter who it was. It didn't matter if it was Arcan and Claudio. It would have had the same result. No, you forced yourself into that match because yet again, you made it all about yourself Even though you were the one that fucking took the belt away from Claudio and everybody else in DCA. No, you made it about yourself, and then I hear you say, I wanted a one-on-one match, which, honestly, did you really think you deserve one? Did you really think you deserve a one-on-one match for a title that you did not fucking earn? That a title that you took away from somebody who busted his ass to get there, who put in the work, the effort, the time, and didn't bitch, moan, or complain about it. Did you really think you earned that? Oh no, but again, your own hubris, your own ego, and everything else makes you believe otherwise. So, Proving Ground happened. You tried to break Claudio's neck, and you sit there wondering why the Cortez boys wants your head on a silver fucking platter. Which, again, is ironic. But then again, you wouldn't know what it's like to give a fuck about family, huh? You bring your family up when it's convenient for you, huh? Cheap shot, right? It's not a cheap shot if it's a reality. And you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, okay, then, how's your mom doing, James? Thought so. But enough about that. Let's go back into that. Let's talk about how I explained what happened, right? That Zach was laid out before the show. Did you care? No, because again, it's not about you. It's about the narrative that you want to push because you want to be your own hero. You want to be the guy. So, Zach Stone's an evil bastard. Malik Brown's an evil bastard trying to screw you out of opportunity, even though I was trying to save you, Arcan, and Claudio. Especially your ungrateful ass from something that would have happened far worse than what Rock got when Kenshiro showed himself. With Gnarly at his side. Which, by the way, he only put Gnarly up there because he knows how much it would fuck with people. And Gnarly, oh shit. You think he gave a fuck? No. Because he just wants to make you suffer. Just like you and Hit made him suffer. Bear in mind, Gnarly's a piece of shit. No one's denying that. But I mean, shit. It's not like he was born one. He had to be created. And I wonder who created him. Say this till the cows come home, baby boy. You are the byproduct of Gnarly Charlie Anderson's downfall into ratdom. Just like how you, James, were the downfall and the creation of a hellhound. That you still don't want to fucking own up to. But with all that happened at Proving Ground, with everything that happened, you still think that there's this thing where I am out to get you. You think that there's this thing where, oh, these bastards are hiding something from us. No, James, there is no hiding. It's just the fact that you would want to think. You want to believe that we're hiding something. You want to believe that I'm hiding something because you just want to justify being an asshole. You want to justify something so bad because you want to be right, but you're not. The narrative that you've been creating for the last year and a half is delusional at best. You are talking to a guy who, yes, has made a lot of mistakes in his time and will continue to make mistakes. Did I make a mistake by not telling people? You're right. But at the same time, I told the people that at that point in my life, I felt I could trust and mattered more. And before I hear it again, and Jamal already knows this, let's be real fucking truthful here. I have opened up before, and I got fucked over for it. Too many times. So yes, there was a point where I couldn't trust parts of Unchained. Claudio, he wasn't mad because he knew that there had to be something going on. Killer, I told him because he was around me and he understood me. Maya, I had to go to her because if I didn't go to her, I had to go to her because she had connections that I needed. which in turn led me having to go to Stillport and talk to Johnny Gat again, which that was an awkward fucking conversation to have. But hey, every connection counted for me to try to figure out what the fuck was going on and why Rock decided to sacrifice his life to tell me something that needed to be addressed. Which, if you bothered to pay attention to the first time I explained everything, I said that Rock told me what the fuck was going on, and he was literally risking his fucking life to give me this information. But do you care? No. But I'm telling it to the people that want to know, to the people that do care. James, it's obviously you don't, because again, it's all about you. It's all about being the victim. It's all about the fact that I fucked you over. Me and Zach fucked you over. When there's something more important than your minuscule fucking world title. And the funny part is, right, that's what it all boils down to. It doesn't boil down to the fact that there's this ongoing war and there's this person, this group that wants to destroy the very thing that I fought to be. They're trying to destroy wrestling. They want to destroy the thing I love, that I put my heart, my soul, and my goddamn tears into. They're trying to take that for people like me, for people like you. But no, it's all about a world title. A world title that at any point you can fucking get another shot at. But you don't get that, do you? No, you don't. Because it's always about James Needham and his fragile little ego. Here's a reality check for you. I never lost a fucking thing when Black November formed, because those guys in the back, from the caterers to the backstage consultants, the road agents, the wrestlers, everybody in DCA, how the fuck would they lose respect for me when I am literally the reason they have a job, that they can still be wrestlers? Because I highly fucking doubt anybody in the virtual wrestling world would hire Atlas Jones to do something. Would hire an Akira Yukimura. Would hire a Carmen Cortez, a Morgan Raincroft, a Zack Stone, a Calvin Richardson. And for those that don't get what I mean by without Malik Brown there'd be no DCA, let me tell you again and let me say it slow so you can understand the fucking words are coming out of my mouth. If I left with Joshua Bishop, Evan O'Shea, the Blade Runners, John Blackrose, if I left with those guys, look Darius in the eyes and say, "You're on your own, boy," Darius would close that fucking place down in a goddamn hurry, because his soul was ripped out of his body that night when everybody sat there and said, "You fucked up. You should never be a promoter. You should never put on a fucking show ever the fuck again." I stayed with him, not out of my own benefit, but because I saw myself in him. I saw his passion. And I decided to do something that no one ever fucking bothered to do for me. I gave him my heart and I said, "Don't give up." And guess what? Look where you at now. Going strong. Going strong. And now every time you hear Zack Stone, you hear Atlas Jones, you hear Akira Yukimura, you hear Carmen Cortez, you hear Zelina Zeta, you hear Vanessa Price, you hear Lightning. Yeah, I'm going there. People remember her from DCA than that other place. Sakura Hagiwara, people remember her from here than that other place. Revy, You're welcome, Keem. You think of D, C, A. And that's because I had the fucking heart, the soul, and the humanity to tell Darius you fucked up, but don't give up. What makes you think that anybody would say, I don't respect you, Malik? No, they say thank you, Malik, because where will we be if you didn't stay? And that is a truth, a very, very harsh truth. Who are you, Needham? Little boy, who are you? Who are you to sit here? You and Hit. Hit specifically. Who the fuck are y'all? To sit here and paint this weird ass narrative that me and Zach are the bad guys because of one moment where the world title was not in your hands. Oh, boo fucking who? Cry me a goddamn river. It's not like you can get another shot. It's not like Chris McClain ain't going to give you another opportunity at any point. But then again, that's always been the case for you, ain't it? It's always been the case of it's always James Needham first, everyone else second. The hypocrisy of your existence is beautiful to see. Just remember, James, no one did this to you. You did this to yourself. No one made you do the things that you do. You did that to yourself. And here's a bit of advice, kid. If you want to be the hero in your own story, maybe you should stop pretending that the other characters don't exist. Or, better yet, maybe you should stop pretending that your flaws are not there either. You're flawed, James, just like everybody else. Except the difference is between these flawed individuals like a Carmen Cortez and everybody else, they actually are broken. They actually are hurt. People like me, people like Carmen, people like Jamal, we've been through some shit. People like Trixie, we've been through some shit. But the difference is, we actually went through this and we're not trying to live vicariously through them. Ain't that right, James? Is that why you stayed so long in fucking Steelport trying to pass off as a fucking saint? Is that why when Hit Kid decided to be with Mari, you figured, oop, there's my in for Jack Sparrow. And now you're a pirate? See, James, the smart people see right through you. The ones that are not easily swayed, the ones that ask the questions that need to be asked, they see right through you. And I see right through you. And that's why for the last good half, I have ignored everything about your existence and anything else. And since you want to bring up everything about what happened at All Stars, I might as well just throw this out of the way. That was a situation where a little boy tried to stick his nose in the business that didn't belong to him, and the only reason he came out there was because I was out there. Because, oh, goody gumdrops, James Needham, what's that? James Needham tries to attack people blindly because fuck everybody else, must be another day that ends with Y. And you wonder why you have so many people wanting to fucking strangle the shit out of you. Or in some cases, humble you like you need to be humbled. Simply put, James, it goes like this. I don't owe you shit. I don't owe you an explanation. I don't owe you anything. You are a little boy trying to play a grown man's game. And if you continue to play this grown man's game, you will get your ass handed to you more times than I can remember. See, the difference is between everyone else and you is that you fake being the tough guy. You fake pretending like you went through some shit in your life. You haven't. You haven't lived through anything. You sit here thinking that you're entitled because you went through a few death matches with Charles. So you think you're entitled to know what suffering is, but suffering you do not know. You're not strong, and you're not smart. You haven't suffered, and you damn sure are not worthy. All you are, and this goes to your little brother too, all you are is a fucking migraine. No one asked you to join the war, James. No one told you to be a part of it, because it was obvious since the get-go. You were never a part of it. You just wanted your ego sated. That's why you ignored Kenshiro and Ruin right after Gnarly. Because Gnarly was your target, no one else. You're not the hero of your story, James. You're the delusional bridge troll who spends most of his time writing fan fiction under his little bridge while the world moves on without you. So continue to cry victim. Continue to be the James Needham you think you are. Continue to wear that badge of self-made trauma and one-dimensional tragedy that you created for yourself. Sit there and pretend that you didn't listen to what Carmen Cortez said about you, you and Hit Kid especially. Sit there and pretend that that didn't hit close to home than you want to believe. Sit there and pretend like Leo Cortez and the family don't have reasons for wanting to rip your goddamn head off. Don't sit there and act like TJ don't have a reason to not like you or anybody else that you have fucked over as collateral damage because you want to pretend to be the hero. But we see right through you. You're just as fucking scummy as Kenshiro. But the difference between you and all the other people that we are at war with is that they at least admit to their cruelty. You're too late. And we see right through you. So if you want to continue on in believing that I'm the bad guy, go right ahead. But you're just screaming into the void at this point. Because I got nothing for you. I never had a thing for you, James. And if you're smart enough, you will quit while you're ahead. Because even somebody like me can run out of patience. And the day I run out of patience, James, is going to be the day you wish you never put my name in your mouth. This is not a threat. This is not a promise. It's a fact. So, do us all a favor, JC Needham, and stop and actually look at the situation at hand before you get neutered.